First Day of School, The Lego Adventures of Jack Series, Volume 3, by Kyle K., available at Amazon. Our book begins with an image of a Ferris wheel. Summer is over. The amusement park rides are now only memories. As we go to our next page, we see the boy in the striped shirt. His name is Jack. He's next to a motorhome or a camper. Fishing and camping was fun. However, summer has come to an end. Turning the page, we see Jack, and he's next to a bed, and his light is turned off. Jack goes to bed early and dreams about tomorrow, when a new adventure begins. And here we can figure out what his adventure is just by looking at this bright yellow bus. Tomorrow is a new day, a new adventure. Tomorrow is the first day of school. Now we see Jack, and he's outside of his home. He's on the front lawn, just by the sidewalk. Jack waits in front of his house for a ride to school. And now we see his ride pull up on the street. A bright yellow school bus arrives. Now we see the friendly bus driver. He's waving to Jack as the doors open. Jack climbs up the bus stairs and takes a seat. Riding on a bus is not scary. You can make new friends. And here we see Jack. He's sitting in what's clearly the back of the bus with another boy. And we know it's the back because we can see the dotted road line behind them as the bus is driving. Jack sits next to a boy named Dave. Dave will be Jack's first new friend. There's our school that we first saw on the cover. A nice 3-story building. Jack is excited to see his school. It is a very large building. Now we see a slide, a merry-go-round, monkey bars, a teeter-totter, a basketball hoop. There is a very fun-looking playground on the schoolyard. Now there's Jack with some other children. We haven't seen them before, so obviously these are some new kids. Jack does not know any of the other kids, but he does know that they will soon all be friends. There's Jack standing, and Jack goes to his classroom and says hello to his teacher and classmates. Now we see Jack, and he's standing next to his teacher. The teacher tells everyone how much fun school is and that there's nothing to be afraid of. And then here we see the teacher. She's got a big book. There's a dinosaur and a Jack in the Box. The day started with story time. The first story was about a talking dinosaur and a Jack in the Box. Fort Lagredo. So here we have a fort. There's a man on a horse with a hat on his head. There was a story about cowboys and old forts. Oh wow, look at this. It's a very large dinosaur. Look how big his mouth is. It's bigger than Jack. There was a story about a friendly giant dinosaur that liked to sing. La 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 la. Now we see Jack, and he's on some sort of bird, and he's flying high up in the air over the school bus. There was a story about a giant bird that was part dinosaur. Jack wished he could fly to school. Now we see there's a shark, there's some sort of fishing net and buried treasure, and a scuba diver, and he's exiting a shark cage, and it looks like there's some seaweed and green there. There was a story about sharks guarding sunken treasure. Jack wished he could be a scuba diver. Now we see the teacher, and there's some musical notes, and it looks like she's going to be pressing the keys. Story time is over, and the teacher began to play the piano, and everybody sang along. Now we see Dave, there's another boy, and of course Jack, and it looks like they're laying down. Soon everybody became tired and it was time for a nap. Everybody had their own mat to sleep on. Jack dreamed of playing the drums while he slept. Now we see Jack, and he's got some watermelon slices and a carton of milk on a table. Nap time became snack time. Everybody drank milk and ate watermelon. Now we see the teacher pointing to the clock on the classroom wall. "Time to play." "Outside," said the teacher, as she pointed to the clock. So we see Jack going down the slide. There's his friend Dave, and Dave is waiting for Jack to get off the slide, so it'll be safe for him to go down as well. There was a twisty slide that was lots of fun. Everybody took turns waiting in line. Jack and Dave played on the bright red teeter-totter. Now they're climbing. There were monkey bars to climb on. Now we see this boy that looks kind of unhappy. He's not smiling. There was a boy that was by himself. Jack did not want him to feel left out, so they found a new activity. And now you can see everybody's smiling, including that boy. The spinning merry-go-round was a lot of fun. Best of all, nobody was left out. Now we can see everybody's lining up, and the door's open, the teacher's outside, so they must be entering the school. Everybody had fun playing outside and making new friends. It was time to go back inside for art class. Now we see Jack, and he's got a paintbrush in his hand, and he's got a little tray of paint. Jack started to paint a fried egg, but there was no white paint. The fried egg became a painting of the sun. So he's a true creative artist. He changed his picture. So now we've got these children. They're all lined up, and there's Jack, and it looks like the school bus has come back. The door is open. You can see the yellow handle. The day quickly came to an end. It was now time to get on the bus and go home. And Jack's remembering his day at school. Jack is happy that tomorrow he can play with his new friends at school. There's the merry-go-round. He's painting a picture. We see the slide up front. And of course the school bus. You will love school just as much as Jack does. Have a great first day of school.